Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door is arguably the best Paper Mario in the series. After that, the series went in a different direction for Super Paper Mario, and then went into a very different direction for Sticker Star and after. Growing up with Paper Mario for the N64 and Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door for the Nintendo GameCube, Paper Mario Sticker Star became such a disappointment and made me come to terms with the fact that we might not get a Paper Mario like N64's version or Thousand-Year Door ever again. Today I want to look back at Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door and touch on the challenges it is to play a game like this today. Let's begin. Paper Mario came out August 11th, 2000 for the N64 and was loved by many. The sequel, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, released on July 22nd, 2004 and somehow topped the original and is known as the best game in the series. The third game was Super Paper Mario and it released on April 9th, 2007. It greatly changed the formula of Paper Mario by getting rid of the turn-based fighting and using multiple Wii features. The game was well liked but will never be as good as the first two. The next game to release was Paper Mario Sticker Star, which released November 11th, 2012 on the 3DS. While it was very well hyped, once the game released, it fell flat with the new sticker mechanic, over-reliance on the whole paper gimmick, and lacked a good story. It was very disappointing. After that, everybody hoped Nintendo would go back to the original formula of the first two Paper Marios, because those were the best. But sadly, they never did. What released next was Paper Mario Color Splash, which released on October 7th, 2016. For the Wii U. It was a lot like Sticker Star, and close if not equally disappointing. And then finally was Paper Mario and the Origami King, which released July 17th, 2020, which was better than Sticker Star and Color Splash, but definitely still not as good as the original three. As someone who was exposed to Thousand-Year Door first, then the N64 Paper Mario, and then Super Paper Mario, and then Sticker Star, and everything after that, it was just so disappointing. It was a lot like growing up in a mansion, and then when you grew up, you moved into a 2-star hotel. It felt weird that you were going backwards in time. Not to say people didn't like these games, but they were definitely hard to compare them to the originals in terms of just fun, story, and something memorable. Now, I won't go into more of the current games and the old games. We're gonna focus on Thousand-Year Door today, but I did want to mention all that stuff to you guys. Story. Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door's plot is a simple and classic RPG. You play as Mario and you receive a letter from Princess Peach telling you to help her find a treasure in the Thousand-Year Door, which is taking place in Rogueport. When you get there, Princess Peach is surprisingly gone and you have to find her, as well as try to collect all of the crystal stars. The game is split up into chapters, and in these chapters you meet new friends along the way, make new partners, go to these new great locations, and each place and each story, mini story in each chapter, is great and different from all of the rest. The overall story of the game is great, but I do want to say the strength of the mini stories in each chapter is what makes the game amazing. You know, some are better than the whole story on its own. And all the characters are charming. It's a story and group of characters that you won't soon forget. The gameplay. The gameplay is turn-based, and what happens is when you touch an enemy, you go into this theater and you have audience members come in and look at you. And you can have turn-based mechanics as well as mechanics during the attack or the defense. For example, you can hit A to defend yourself at the right time, hit B, which is a smaller window of time to hit, but you can counter them. You can also have extra attack strength when it comes to using the hammer or getting an extra bounce in when you're jumping on someone. You can also use the audience to your advantage because they refill something called your star power, I believe, and that can be used in many ways. Your partners also get to play in this battle as well. Combat-wise, it's a lot deeper than you would expect for a kid's game, but it's nice, and you don't have to get too deep into it to enjoy and beat the game, but you can if you want to. Now, in the overworld, you get things called curses, which lets you do paper things like become a paper airplane, a paper boat, or even just go sideways to squeeze into little spots. And you also have your partners that you gain throughout the journey, and through them you can have other abilities too, such as jumping on your Yoshi to be able to go faster, and some other things like Flurry to be able to peel off some stuff to reveal hidden secrets. The overworld is great to explore, the characters are charming, and there's a lot of secrets in the game itself. Overall, the game is great to play and highly recommended for all ages. Availability. Now, this is the hard part. I wanted to talk about how available Thousand Year Door is right now. It has only ever been released on the Nintendo GameCube. I got this when I was 10 for my birthday, and I've held on to it ever since because I loved the game. However, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people got rid of their GameCubes and games, and if you're gonna spend an arm and a leg to buy all that stuff, you know, it's gonna be old, it's gonna be used, you might have to buy a new TV because it takes different inputs than HDMI, composite I think the name is, you know, and that sucks. It really does. Like, that is a great game that generations will not experience ever because it's not available. Now, of course, you can pirate the game and run it on emulator, and you can make it look better and use the controls you want with an Xbox controller or something, but you shouldn't have to do that. Most people are gonna go through the trouble of playing this game because they've played it as kids, not because, oh man, I wanna experience this new game and its greatness, because they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna know, and they're not gonna put that time in. If it was easy and available to the masses, then yes, people would play it again, they'd realize how good a game it is, and more people will get to experience that. More people will experience the joy and wonder that I did. I remember when I finally opened that Thousand Year Door. That was a great childhood experience for me. Luckily, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is getting a remake. Coming out on the Switch, they announced it a few days ago, and that's amazing. It's got the new paper aesthetic that the new ones have. I'm kinda iffy about that. I like the old look better, but this one could enhance the gameplay or just make it look nicer, as long as it's not too big onto the paper gimmick. However, this does bring up the really sad point that I own and bought that game. Well, I got it for my birthday, but a lot of people bought that game, and I'm gonna buy it again for $60 again, maybe 70. This media, just like books, just like movies, just like music, they really should be available to all, whenever, wherever, like we have with all the other media. Sadly, I know it's not that simple. Hardware-wise, it's very different, but as an art form, it's just kind of sad to look at all these games and all and just not have the ability to play them as we used to. Even things like Nintendo dropping the Nintendo eShop for the 3DS and Wii U is sad because you bought those consoles and that was a feature of the console to buy all these other games and go through it online. Now it's just unavailable anymore. It's more deep than that. I get it. I understand Nintendo would close those shops because no one's buying from them. Why would they keep that open? That's a lot of upkeep. But, you know, it's just something that needs to be addressed and needs to be talked about because it's history. It's art. We know that more than ever now. I would love to see some ability for people to play these games again, other than pirating and emulating them. I'm glad there is a way accessible now, but God, it shouldn't have to be. It's not as simple as that, but still. It's a dream that I have, something I'd want to see. I think that covers all of my thoughts. The remake video for Thousand Year Door was released during the Nintendo Direct, so I wanted to talk about it at least a little bit, so here I am. I'm excited for it, but also the fact that, again, I'm buying a game I already own and having to play it this way and wait for it when I have it and I should just be able to play it whenever leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But it is better that we get the game than not. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a comment if you played Paper Paper Mario before, and or if you're excited for the remake to come out. Oh, and tell me what you think about the whole old games becoming unavailable for people to play thing. I don't want the off chance that you found a GameCube in the corner of some yard sale to get you to play this game or not, compared to the whole pirating thing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to take care of yourselves, okay? I'll see you next time.
Speak your mind, say what you're thinking. Just be you.